next meal is coming from, they can truly thrive, like Marta.
And now we'll hear from our class valedictorian, who with our hard work never ceases to amaze us. Please welcome Marta Moreno.
And Alex.
Hey, Alex, how did the interview go?
I did it! I got the job! I can't believe it!
I knew it. Let's meet up later to celebrate.
And Diego.
Mom! I got first place at the science fair with my volcano project.
That's amazing, sweetie. Congratulations.
Because when people are fed, futures are nourished, and everyone deserves to live a full life. Join the movement to end hunger at feedingamerica.org/actnow. Feedingamerica.org/actnow. A public service announcement brought to you by Feeding America and the Ad Council.
Milwaukee's Black Talk lives here. You are listening to 1017 FM, 1510 AM WGKB Waukesha and W269DL Milwaukee, a locally owned Good Karma brand station. Bringing you his authentic perspectives on important topics.
They live in suburbs together. They live in the city together. They hang out together, all in the same family. We're the only idiots that fight because we want our voice to only be on one side. Like, does that even make any sense? And when the side loses, you lose everything. They, on the other hand, have a voice no matter what because somebody that looks like them is always in control.
Frank, candid, and straight to the point.
Well, it's just a skewed system.
Of course it is.
It's a lot of judgment.
But answer my question, though. Should we let people go? Should we let people go? Like, let's just forget about bail altogether. And if your neighbor commits a homicide and kills people up, if you kill people and they next to you and you just let them come back and live right next to you, they can live upstairs from you. Let them come in your house.
Frank, candid, and straight to the point. This is the best radio show in the state of Wisconsin. Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris on 1017 The Truth and The Truth app.
Now, he's the mayor of the city of Milwaukee. He's a young man. Give him a chance. I only complain about things that I care about. What I want you to do is pretend like I'm in St. Louis. And all I'm asking the mayor and the Common Council president and the Common Council, show me.
Now, live from the American Family Insurance Studio at the Avenue in the heart of downtown Milwaukee, here is Dr. Ken Harris.
So my first day back, y'all not gonna listen to me, right? Can y'all close the door? You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. I'm your host, Dr. Ken Harris. Welcome to 2025. Yeah, it's gonna be one of them years. They already started out 100% right. Nobody's listening to me. Nobody's talking. I got people in my computer. Okay, so make sure y'all warn people. Sit still. Or stay out of so I can't see you, because otherwise, if you distract me, I'm going to say something. I'm just saying. So, just so y'all know. No, I'm just giving trouble. It's fun. 833-212-10. What do you want, Tori? Tori, you already had your show. What you coming to my show for? Yeah, clean your stuff out. Listen, for the last 6 months, how old is that event? When'd you get that? Tori got a 19. Look at this, y'all. Tori got a 1994 Black History Essay Contest, second place from the first annual Black History Essay Contest, sponsored by Milwaukee Courier and Eisenberg Attorneys, Tori Lowe, North Division, second place. That's what's up. He still ain't let it go. He still ain't let it go. He still ain't let it go. Same OG. Hey, brother, Happy New Year. God bless you. All right. So here's the thing. So while I was on vacation, clearly I had a really good. What do you want? So y'all just keep distracting me. They keep distracting me to the point I'll never get to my open. I'll never get there. Y'all see what I got to put up with every single day. And now I can't say that because I just got here. So anyway.
Exactly. It's been 2025 been here for a week.
Did nobody ask you?
I'm just saying, Dr.
Did nobody ask you? Who told you you can talk on my show? Who told you can talk on my show?
Dr. Ken.
What? What? No, we're just having fun. It's 2025. I haven't been here in like a week. I haven't been here since last Monday, the 30th. So I would like to say Happy New Year to each and every one of you. Okay, y'all you gonna have to. Hey, here you go. You have to slide to the side because that's gonna be too distracted. There you go. All right. So the thing that struck me as just like burned me to the core, right? So I've been dealing with this for a week. It's been sitting for a week, and it's been driving me up a wall. All right. So I got two things that kind of bothered me, and I was trying to figure out which one to talk about. And so I asked the producers, hey, what should I? And basically what they said was like, anyway, yeah, it came it came down with. So I have a question. I'm not trying to be mean. If you want to call in, call in. If you want to pontificate on it, feel free. Sometimes, and I think I'm going to combine the two. Sometimes white people say and do things that literally drive me up a wall. And I think it's unfortunate because they don't really grasp or understand what it is they're saying. And it's not that it's offensive. It's just insensitive. So, comments people make tend to make me feel some kind of way. Statements that are made that they don't really think mean anything, but they have a double meaning. Stuff like, hey, Jason, you should get over it. Like something will happen and so everybody's upset, and their answer to it is, well, you should get over it. Like toughen up. Or something happens and you hear about it or you're discussing it and they'll say, it's not that big of a deal. So is that a pattern of disrespect or a pattern of just not being able to understand a different way of looking at the world? I've never understood that. Some of the ones that I've been told, you're different. What does that even mean? Like you expect all black people to be dumb or stupid or ignorant or criminal or well, like what does that, put that in context for me. You're different. All my friends are like me. Educated, got a job or retired, travel, do things. Why is that like an anomaly? Like, why are people shocked that when you talk about traveling or going somewhere, I sat in a meeting once where the person looked at me like, what? Martha's Vineyard? Kennebunkport, Maine? Washington, D.C.? The Gulf? Mexico? Cancun? Like you're crazy or something. Like, I would never expect you to have gone anywhere like that because only certain, like, what is that? What is that? Oh, you're different. Or the mainstream one, right? Why do you have to talk about race? Well, why are you so bothered by it? What is that? And by the way, the heating and cooling guy just came in. It's cold. He's like, oh, it's only 69 degrees. Dude, you wearing a jacket. It's freezing in here. But anyway, I digress. How does it feel? I got to ask this question. 833-212-1017. If you are brave, open-minded, flexible, transparent, and white, can you answer this question? Why? Or let me rephrase that. How does it feel? And this is a loaded question, so I'm just letting you know up front. How does it feel to be from a race where every single thing you think, act, say, do, and believe is supposed to be correct, and therefore everybody who's different is wrong? Like, I don't understand that. Why does the world revolve around white people? And I'm not saying that in a racist sense, but why? Why is it that there's this assumption that the way that you think is the right way and everybody else is wrong? Everybody's culture is wrong, and you hide behind being American. You should be American. Now, on a side note, did I think it was trash what ESPN did when they didn't play during the Notre Dame game when people were shouting USA and they did the national anthem, that they didn't play it on ESPN? I thought that was trash. But that being said, let's not get stuck into this American culture, because American culture is white male dominated. And I don't care what anybody says. It's white male dominated. The problem I have with that is that every other culture steals everything from black people and pretends like it's theirs and then says it's theirs. And that's a problem. Anybody dare to call to answer that question? How does it feel to be from a race that perceives itself as perfect? And that the world, other countries, should bow down to America. Now, granted, America's great. Got to give it to them. America's great. I've done great here. I've done phenomenal here. But is it all that? Where other people lose so you can win, so the world looks like you. 833-212-1017 is the number. I'm confused how you're right about everything. Everybody else is wrong.
And that is Dr. Ken's Truth on the new 1017 The Truth.
What's up, y'all? It's your girl, Noni Juice, and I am Milwaukee. The city of Milwaukee resonates with me deeply, not only because I was born and raised here and have beautiful memories, but because, much like myself, this city thrives on resilience and perseverance, often surprising those who overlook it. It was here where my journey started, and I learned to create my own opportunities. And I want our listeners to know that they have the power to do the same. So join me on Jammin' with Juice from 12 to 1 p.m. on the award-winning 1017 The Truth, Milwaukee Black Talk.
Experience, knowledge, and results. That's what really matters when you need help after a serious truck accident. You'll need a lawyer experienced in fighting and winning for people just like you. Gruber Law Offices has the resources, strong track record of success, and a team of experienced lawyers to take care of your needs. We've successfully helped people injured in big truck accidents for more than 35 years. Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
Do you need CPR or first aid certification? A&E CPR has got you covered. With over 15 years in the health and wellness industry, A&E CPR is a trusted American Red Cross training provider right here in Milwaukee. Whether it's CPR, first aid, or AED training, A&E CPR classes give you the skills and confidence you need to respond to life-threatening emergencies. They offer online courses and in-person classes. You can even receive your certification the same day you complete the class. So visit ANECPR.com to get certified today. That's ANECPR.com.
The more you listen to your kids, the closer you'll be. So we asked kids, what do you want your parents to hear?
I feel sometimes that I'm not listened to. I would just want you to listen to me more often and evaluate situations with me and lead me towards success.
We're not adults, so just be there and like listen. I just want someone to yap to. And I just feel like I'll be fine like if someone just hears me talk and talk and talk and talk and talk and talk and talk.
You're doing a really good job. And I don't think I tell you that enough. And I know sometimes we get into it and it's just hard on both of us. But, try to understand me more and I'll try to do the same.
Listening is a form of love. Find resources to help you support your kids and their emotional well-being at sounditouttogether.org. That's sounditouttogether.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and Pivotal.
Here at the new 1017 The Truth, we aim to be a staple in Milwaukee's Black community. We are committed to partnering with local organizations and supporting Black-owned businesses. We are proud to call Milwaukee our city and promise to be a positive reflection of our community. We look forward to celebrating Black culture and excellence with you every day as we make history and continue to uplift the voices in our city. Join us for the journey at the new 1017 The Truth, founded by American Family Insurance. Milwaukee, Black Talk.
This is Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Pick this one on Music Monday, Michael Jackson, to play that one song.
Greatest of all time.
Never.
Oh, now.
Hey.
Michael Jackson. That's universally agreed upon.
See, now I got the hiccups. See, now it's your fault. I got to drink some. I got to drink something so I can get stuff.
We'll play the mic while you drink it.
He gonna play the music. What? See. Yeah, whatever. 833-212-10. See, I got the hiccups. It's all your fault. Now I need some cold water. And yes, I get teased because I say water, but I pronounce it WORTER, water. And I got teased about that. So should I hold my breath?
For 10 seconds, I think.
White Widow, you're on the award-winning 1017 The Truth. How are you?
Very good. Happy New Year's, Dr. Ken. Did you get that corner done?
No.
2025. I'm with you.
I left and went to Arizona.
Nice. Where in Arizona?
I'm not telling. Y'all might show up.
Oh, trust me. I go to Chandler. My sister lives there. But anyways, you are absolutely
uppity people. Chandler and Scottsdale area. Oh, okay.
Gated community, I know, but she's a retiree from State Farm Insurance, so it wasn't like she was born with a silver spoon. She worked for it.
She just retired.
But you know what?
It don't matter. Silver spoon is silver. Don't matter how you got it.
Yeah, you're right about that. She worked for it.
Okay, so you got something to say about white people?
Yeah, I got to say that, I was raised as Irish American, and I'm glad because, my mom didn't promote that type of issue, that there was a difference between white and black.
If your mother raised you as Irish American, she created the difference herself. Like this, really?
Yes. Yes. I mean, in the 90s, you could go to England and signs said no blacks, no dogs, and no Irish. So, and the fact of the matter is that it's terrible in this country because they have this feeling that, you know, that the black people are unable to evolve, or we've given them all these bumps.
But the question is, should we actually care what white people think in the world? Honestly.
Yeah, because they have the power in the United States, and they're holding black people back.
And what power do they have? Hold black people back like what? Give me an example.
Harvard University in the 30s, Professor Reiser went over to Sudan, and in between Egypt and Africa, they found a civilization. They said, oh my gosh, these are black people, but this is a whole civilization. They have the same powers as Ramesses II, but they must have had slaves come in from Egypt to build this massive community. I mean, they had irrigation, they had the pyramids and everything.
Okay.
Professor Reiser from Harvard decided, well, obviously this has no merit, and took no pictures, took no relics. They were stealing everything out of Egypt at that time.
Right.
And it was the Kush civilization. And the Kush civilization ruled Ramesses II.
Yeah, Ramses II, yeah.
He ruled Ramesses II because if it wasn't for that black pharaoh and that civilization, no trade would move between Egypt and Africa.
Okay.
Those are the type of historical stories.
Egypt and the rest of Africa.
Yes.
Okay.
But what I'm saying is that the covering up of those attributes
right.
and of those accomplishments in our American history leads our children to believe that black Americans have no attributes in history. The civil rights, I mean, during the Civil War.
But can't you easily overcome that? Can't you easily overcome that?
Yeah, in America, the only way we can do it is through elections.
No.
And
build your own schools.
What else can we do?
Build your own schools. Put your kids in your own schools. Send your kids to HBCUs. Build middle schools that are black. Build private schools. I mean, right?
That's it. Right. Black people need their own autonomy. I mean, in the 60s, they said, yeah, we hear you. You're a minority. Black people in America are not minorities. They were so important in the building, in the construction, in the oppression. How can you consider a black American the same as an Asian? And that's what bothers me, the watered down the watered down theory of, okay, yeah, you're a minority. And then the whole issue of black American gets watered down with women and with Hispanics, and Asians. And it has to be a standalone.
White widow, you have to remember that they took all this. This is why I reject the phrase "people of color," because people of color means they're white people and then people of color, as if being white is so powerful and grand that it stands on its own, and then we deal with everybody else. And it's a little disingenuous to assume that because you're white, you're deserving of something, but then when you want to play it down, you say I don't see color, and so you get to play it both ways. But nobody else.
That's why I'm happy to know you're going to Paris, because if I didn't, we didn't have no money. I mean, maybe one time we went to Wisconsin Dells with my stepfather. But, it was through my job and being elected in union. I went to D.C. I'm from Milwaukee. I couldn't believe I never saw so many black people with suits on. I was like, and finally I asked someone who I said, all these black people have suits. These are they're black professional people, because I only knew Milwaukee. And I said, what is this? It's the melting pot. Same thing when I went to Paris for work. I couldn't believe it. I got invited to the Renault plant to tour the plant on health and safety. I didn't know who my sponsors were. I get there, my God, it was a black union official in the 90s running the Renault plant. I mean, and he looked like a worker. I mean, it was just, and that's why you need to get to Paris and get out of this country, because Paris really.
But why
Paris,
would I go to Paris? But why would I go to Paris, whose economy is lagging at best, where the best opportunity for me is to be here?
I know, but I'm just saying to visit so that you open up your eyes to see how many other countries
I'm well
have
aware
valued.
that that's there. I'm well aware,
Right.
and most black people are well aware of that. I'm just simply asking why white people think the way they do.
I think it's genetics. I think, 100 years ago during Prohibition, everybody was drinking, doctor, lawyers, congresses, and were getting their booze. A black man got caught with a half pint. It's 15 years in jail. That's 100 years ago. And the highest reason for black men to be incarcerated 100 years ago was because of federal crime on alcohol.
Correct.
And at the same time, politicians, presidents, there's pictures in the magazines of speakeasies. Everybody else is. I mean, it's just it's a situation where you're not. And I'm white, so all through my life until white people knew what I was about. They talk openly in front of white people. You know what I mean? Until you got to set them straight.
Actually, White Widow, I don't know what you mean.
Oh, I know you don't, but I'm just saying, Again, and I feel bad. I feel bad for black people because it's 24/7 screen. Okay, here comes somebody up. Let me look at the body language. Let me put my shoulders back. Do I have to capitulate? What do I have to do? Constant,
you understand.
constant.
Well, wait a minute. White Widow. You know, majority of black people don't give two flips about that and don't care what white people think about them. You do understand that.
I know that, but the ones but they still have to go through more hoops.
Yeah,
they still have to comply. They got to capitulate. Then a white person standing there.
So how do you overcome it?
Huh?
Last question.
The way that I've seen my black friends overcome it. I met one today. I haven't seen her.
Don't tell me a story. Just tell me how you overcome it.
They push through that system. They join that system.
So we just got to toughen
show
up.
the merits of their value.
Now forget that. That's garbage because the other person is still making a choice, and I still gotta acquiesce and bend over.
What do you do?
Sorts of, well,
what do you do? Hit the streets, civil disobedience?
You ready?
Yeah.
Start your own. Start your own. You want a store? Start your own store. You want your own country club? Start your own country club. You want your own food place, store, clothing store, whatever. Just start your own.
Yeah, but that takes money. You're asking, you're in Milwaukee alone, you're asking for
the black community in America spends more money as consumers than anybody else in the country. We got it.
Well, I understand that, but I'm just saying from Milwaukee. I mean, when do we start the catch up? When do we start for our black citizens in Milwaukee to even catch up?
When we start looking at the fact that we are not trying to catch white people.
No, not catch white people, but get an even playing field.
What makes you think black people are so bad off in Milwaukee that we've not caught up? By looking at the least of us and having them represent the most of us?
No, I wouldn't say that.
Wait. Then where'd you get it from?
The struggles that I've seen with my friends throughout 68 years of life, whether it be on 15th and Cherry or a General Motors plant, where black people weren't allowed to be hired until
that was then. Let's look at 2025.
Okay.
Where are we going?
Where are we going? We're going to take over downtown so we get our fingers on the purse strings and our tax money can be disseminated appropriately where the needs are. We don't need any more modern things at downtown. You know what I mean?
So what do we need?
We have to divert.
See, part of the problem is this. Part of the problem is many times white people in power want to dictate and tell us what we need instead of asking us what we need and even allowing us to get what we want or need ourselves. Right. The assumption that we don't have the money, the assumption that we don't have the intellect, the assumption that we don't get to choose our own future is insulting because there's always somebody that wants to come in and save us.
Right. I mean, follow me and I'll set you free. That's so insulting. I've seen so many white liberals throughout the years walking out of a Madison university with a trust fund. I'm here to help. I'm here to save. It makes me sick. And the fact of the matter is that, we have to get back in Milwaukee, and charity starts at home. I can't go any further than that. But what's available to our kids as far as a school system, it's destined for failure. And that's just
but
it.
It can't
and
be.
It's not like when I was.
But it can't be because that same school system has worked for everybody else, and everybody else did it. So the breakdown's got to be somewhere other than schools. Schools haven't really changed in the last 50, 60 years. They really haven't.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. They really have the quality of the school.
Listen.
What?
We got the same type of teachers. Been training teachers the same way. Boatloads, 50, 60% of those kids have been graduating, going to college, going to get jobs, going to do things, moved on. So it can't be that. Like there's some, I like to complain about education because I think it can always be better. But there's something to the process when we have so many kids going through public school and they are graduating and going to college and graduating from college and going and having a life. So.
Well, the fact of the matter is, MAT graduation rate for RNs was 25% last semester.
But you understand that the way that you count, no, that's incorrect, because the way that you count graduation rates is idiotic in and of itself, because they only count the number in and the number out in 2 years. Well, they could have left for any reason, and they don't really care. They just count number in, number out, which is an idiotic way to count and statistically give somebody some information that's going to make you decide whether or not you want to go to a school. It's always been
but
dumb.
That isn't the skill traits at MAT, Dr. Penn. Right now, there's 19 students, maybe one will pass. It is not because they don't want to be an electrician. It is not because they don't want to join the forces.
So what is
it? It is because they are not prepared.
So why aren't they prepared? So why aren't they prepared?
Because the high school diplomas are getting passed out. MATC doesn't
You're
care.
You're not answering my question.
Sign the dotted
You're
line.
not answering my question. Why?
What's your question?
Why weren't they prepared?
Because they came out of Milwaukee public school system, and you have a teacher who's probably not as engaged as they want to be to pull forward.
Not true.
High school, there's no more tutoring. There's no tutoring after school.
Not true.
What?
See, watch
what?
this.
What's
watch
not
this.
true?
If the kid doesn't want to learn, they're not going to learn.
Right.
And if the kid wants to learn, they're going to learn. So putting that on a teacher, I think, is a little disingenuous, only because when you put it on a teacher, it's like the student doesn't have any skin in the game. And the student most certainly has skin in the game. So what
I'll leave it with this. My son went to Bayview.
I don't want to example. What I'm saying is that we need to remember that the parent and the student have to be engaged with the teacher and the assistant principal and the principal in order to get things done. Otherwise,
in a perfect world. In a perfect world, but guess what? I was one. In a perfect world, but that wasn't the case with me. If it wasn't for the safety nets in society, I wouldn't have gotten where I was.
Okay.
Am.
All right. Well, thank you much. I appreciate it. 833-212-1017 is the number. Did I even take the first break? I've been ripping and running, and I've been getting hollered. That's what happens when you don't talk for 2 weeks, and then you got to get all that stuff. When we come back, talking text line, I think I stepped in it.
Don't touch that dial. More of Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harrison is next on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
More than 6 million kids in the U.S. have ADHD, and many aren't getting the support they need. At understood.org, we can help. Sometimes in class, the only thing your child can focus on are the thoughts racing through their head.
Why am I always falling behind? Why do I feel so alone? So different.
Your child is looking to you for answers. But as a parent, you probably have a lot of questions too. What should I do next? Where do I even start? At understood.org, we provide parents with the resources they need to help kids with ADHD thrive. Your child wants to thrive. Be the reason they do. Visit understood.org/thereason to get started.
Hey, wouldn't it be great if life came with a remote control? You know, you could hit pause when you needed to, or hit rewind. Like that time you knocked down that wasp's nest. Uh-oh. Or that time you forgot to roll up your windows in the car wash.
Fantastic.
Yeah, a remote control would have come in handy then. Well, life doesn't always give you time to change the outcome, but prediabetes does. With early diagnosis and a few healthy changes like managing your weight, getting active, stopping smoking, and eating healthier, you can stop prediabetes before it leads to type 2 diabetes. It's easy to learn your risk. Take the 1-minute test today at doihaveprediabetes.org. Life doesn't come with a remote control. So you're on your own with the wasps. You have the power to take control of prediabetes. Visit doihaveprediabetes.org today. That's doihaveprediabetes.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and its Prediabetes Awareness Partners.
Teachers are dynamic leaders, shaping a new generation. They bring a variety of perspectives from diverse backgrounds, innovating how they teach to prepare students for our fast-changing world. Achieving this takes skill and expertise. They're tireless explorers, creatively discovering a universe of solutions, telling stories, experimenting, inspiring, mentoring, connecting cultures, and connecting with each other, leading by example. Experience the unique joy of helping students thrive. Teaching is a journey that shapes lives. Are you ready to begin? Explore teaching at teach.org, a campaign supported by the U.S. Department of Education, teach.org, and 1 million teachers of color.
Southbound on 43 in Ozaki County, we have some pavement damage between Mequon Road and the county line, right around Donjas Bay Road. They have the left lane blocked because of this, so that is making for big backup, stretching all the way back almost to the Cedarburg exit, the Highway C. So watch out for that. Westbound 94 backing up from about 25th Street all the way through to Mitchell Boulevard. Southbound on 894, we've got an accident south of Beloit Road off on the right shoulder. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast. Tonight, partly cloudy, a low of 17. Tomorrow, partly sunny, a high of 26. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 101.7 The Truth.
This is Associated Bank Sports Update on 101.7 The Truth. It's powered by ESPN Milwaukee. I'm Brandon Snipe. For the first time in 6 years, Chicago Bears found a way to beat the Packers on Sunday in the team's regular season finale.
The kick on the way by Santos, and it is good! The Bears' losing streak comes to an end on the final play of the regular season.
Packers falling 24-22 to Chicago. They finished the regular season at 11-6 and will next travel out to Philly to take on the Eagles next Sunday in the NFC wildcard round.
You know, everything that we want is still out in front of us. You know, the Super Bowl is still out in front of us. We got to go win games and win in advance, but we kind of can control our destiny. We just got to be great.
Kickoff for that game set for 3:30 on Sunday. And lastly, over to the NBA, where the 17 and 16 Milwaukee Bucks are back in action tonight in Toronto. Tip-off all set for 6:30. The Sports Update brought to you by Associated Bank, proudly supporting your hometown teams. Member FDIC.
This is Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris on 101.7 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
All right. It's not Thanksgiving anymore, okay? No Thriller. We got just kill it. Thriller gotta go. Thriller gotta go. You can just get rid of it. You just kill it. You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon, our feature. So every Monday in 2025, we're going to have Music Monday. And, of course, we had to start out with Michael Jackson because Jason is a Michael Jackson, absolutely weird, call him crazy, fanatic about Michael Jackson. He's the greatest. He's the greatest. And, you know, being at that age, he don't know no better. So, you know.
The greatest. Most
So-
influential of all time.
So now I'm putting up with all this Michael Jackson stuff. So I said, let me do Michael Jackson first. Then I ain't got to hear him again for the next 52 weeks.
We might have to sneak Mike in.
No,
one
we're
of
not
these-
sneaking
one of
Mike
these
in.
weeks.
We're not sneaking Mike in. Ever.
What did he
Once we're done today, Michael Jackson is taboo on my show for the rest of the year. Done. 833. I wish y'all could see his face. 833-212-1017 is the number. Hey, it's 1017 The Truth. Dr. Ken Harris, that's me from Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Happy New Year. What does that even mean? That means a lot of rough days ahead for those who suffer from seasonal affective frigid days on the horizon. We even got one now, a little snow, where we all just want to get snuggly and warm at home. Now, granted, I just got back from Arizona. It was great. But you know what? That's where Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin comes in. They're inviting doors, welcome friends and family into a cozy home. Thanks to Pella's gorgeous energy-efficient windows, keeping the cold out. So Pella can make your home as beautiful on the outside as it is comfortable on the inside. Celebrate the new year. 0% interest for up to 3 years at Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Now remember, you can set up. I need a house that has a fireplace, right? You get the right windows, you get everything. You can keep the heat in, you can keep the cool out when it's hot. That's what Pella Windows can do for you. But you got to hurry. You only have until January 31st to score Pella's New Year's special. 0% interest for up to 3 years. Certain restrictions apply. Visit PellaWI.com. 833-212-1017 is the number. Before I get to Eric, I got to hit the talk and text line. We behind. That's how I say this. Okay. Did I cause a little trouble? Dr. Ken, you need to get to work earlier if you want to have time to fraternize with your coworkers. Please start the show. How rude is that? Is that like rude or what? That's from Wayne. Is that rude? Just told me how to run my show. And on the fraternize, it's Happy New Year. Like it's the first time I was here in the new year, and well, that's pretty rude. We'll just skip that for now. Or anyway. Well, Doctor, unfortunately, they can burn us down every time we unite. We have to be careful. We can't just get together, especially if we don't have a militia group to oppose every terror group that is against the United States as black people. If you believe that, Barbie, why wake up in the morning? If you believe that, why wake up in the morning? We've got too many cities in America that are doing well, that are run by black people. That can be better. But I think there's a way to be race conscious and not be race bigoted, if that makes sense. To be able to have joy, to be committed to your race, but not be racist to other people. Like me being pro-black has nothing to do, and I can always do it without ever being anti-white, anti-Asian, anti-Latino, Latina. Like it one doesn't negate the other. It's like there's this assumption that does that, and I don't believe that it does. Dr. Ken, can you know what she means? Because black people, do we talk about the white people behind their back as well? Absolutely. Absolutely, black people talk about white people behind their back. Sometimes they talk to white people while they're standing there. And sometimes they talk about black people while they're standing there. When we come back, I want to talk about something. Yes, I'm going to get to Eric, but let me. Shalom, Dr. Ken. It seems that White Widow doesn't understand white privilege is baked into the system and skin color benefits because of the system and the gatekeepers who operate within the system, and that is how she and her Irish heritage benefit regardless. Woo! I couldn't have said that better. That you kind of nailed it. 833-212-1017 is the number. Eric, you're on the award-winning 1017 The Truth. How are you?
I'm fine. How you doing, sir?
I'm good. Can you turn your radio down?
So, I'm killing it now. I realized I was beating back. Can you hear me now?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So, I heard the lady come on the phone, and she was trying to make it seem like black people been getting a real bad shake of the deal, and she was really, I don't think that she understands all of the stuff that we're going through, and I think you made a good point that, you know, a lot of this stuff that we're going through, we can fix some of our own stuff if we start looking at fixing our own house.
Right.
But now, we still got a lot of work to do, but we also got a lot of stuff in the way. So as we start to fix our own house, if you look at the history of America, every time we got our house in order and we started to thrive,
they tried to burn it down.
Well, they did burn it down.
Right.
They destroyed it. They drove freeways up through it.
So,
whatever they could do.
So how do you overcome that?
Locked up our leaders.
So how do you overcome that?
I know that we got a lot of stuff to do in our community, but a lot of people ain't looking at what's really happening.
You're being too general. What do we do?
All right.
Give me an example of what it is we do to overcome that. Give me one idea.
We have to come together.
Ah,
we
that's
have
not
to come
good
together
enough.
on a lot
That's
of
not
things.
good enough. That's not good enough. Come on.
So
Give me
if we
an
don't come together, and support black businesses more with black people, quit taking our money out of our community, get that money going.
Can we get black businesses to then give us our fair share as it relates to what we're paying them in the dollar and give us the quality that we asked for? Is that okay too? Okay, so there's very specific things that can happen. We just keep speaking in generalities when we talk about the community of, well, let's help each other, let's support each other. I don't know what that means. Tell me what that means. And of course, I'm playing dumb. Tell me what that means. What does that look like? When you say, Eric, support me, what does that look like? What happened to Eric? Did he go away? Hello, Eric? Eric? Okay. All right. So what does that look like? We keep speaking in generalities. Well, we got to support each other. Okay, how? Buy black. In what way? From the clothing store, the food store, the movie theater? Which one? Because I watched how they blocked other movie theaters from opening up in Milwaukee because some people feel like they're the only ones who can do it. And then they open up and then they stop other people and they had to go to court to open up a movie theater to run first run movies. Like stuff like that. Like it just, and if you do it to each other, black people don't stand a chance, right? Well, I say wrong. I say somebody has to step up and fight. Somebody's going to have to step up and kick it in. So 833-212-1017 is the number. You know what? I'm going to go ahead and take Al now. You're on the award-winning 1017 The Truth.
Well, first thing we can do is, number one, change the mentality of the outlook. Another thing you can do, have a standard of your community and your neighborhood that everybody stands on.
Such as, give me the standard. Give me the standard.
The standard, keeping it clean.
Okay.
Clean around.
So what does that look like?
Clean around the house.
Okay, so everybody who owns property cleans up their property down to, up to, and including the street.
Yes, absolutely. Number two, get on your building inspectors who are allowing things to go on in the neighborhood. Get on your aldermen who are not contacting you. That's another thing. Also, challenge the logic of what's being put out, like the Kaleidoscope newspaper back in the 60s during the hippie era that went to the Supreme Court. They might have the power, but you can take the power away. And the biggest thing, some of us got to stop being mentally lazy, because some people will let the cards fall. Everybody got to challenge the logic. And when you can challenge the logic with facts, you automatically take the power away. And you have to be a voice. And for those who don't want to be a voice, let them rock.
All right. Thank you much.
Thank you.
833-212-1017 is the number. We started this whole hour talking about phrases and things white people say that make you just, like, drive you batty. I've been watching too much BritBox and Acorn, British TV shows, and kind of pick up some of the lingo. My bad. So phrases like "get over it," "you should be okay," that's not a big. Oh, you're different. You act like you have some sense. You're different. I remember I had a white sergeant told me that when I was on the Milwaukee Police Department working on the South Side. He said, "You're different." I was like, "What do you mean different? That's insulting." All the friends I know and all the people I know got brains and degrees and graduated from high school, good education. Just because you graduated or didn't go to college don't mean you don't have good education. But then I still got people on here talking about, MPS, some of them teachers, they're bad. No, some of the teachers are bad. But let's put it like this. MPS is bad in some cases, but in many cases it's doing the job. And I watch people hustle every day, day in, day out, and get the job done. Is the system set up unfairly? Absolutely. But it's unfair to every kid in Milwaukee. And it's unfortunate that we have it. It's unfortunate that we use it and that nobody will do anything to change it. There's too many people in the system that make money from the system and make money in the system that they don't want to change it. It's too much fat. Now, if you want Doge, if you don't want Doge with Trump, we need Doge for the Milwaukee public school system. We need some businessmen to come in from the outside, from Northwestern Mutual and Rockwell, who run businesses, and go into MPS and remove the fat.
Don't touch that dial. More of Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harrison is next on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com. Milwaukee Black Talk.
The white friends that I have, especially the ones that I'm very, very close to, they all have something in common. They're all incredibly well-traveled. And when you are stuck in the United States, you are stuck in the institutions and the culture and the groupthink of the United States. And if you are white, a lot of that culture and a lot of that groupthink is don't hang out with black people. Don't be friends with black people. Judge black people. Be very stereotypical of black people.
Listen to The Truth with Sherwin Hughes, weekdays from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m.
When a parent sees their child smile, they see hope. Aleem hoped that his son Rajib would have an easier life than he had. You see, Rajib, just like his father, was born with a cleft. But as a fisherman in a small village in Indonesia, the cost of surgery was out of reach. Their lives were transformed thanks to Smile Train, which sponsors free, life-changing cleft surgeries and other essential treatments. Rajib's surgery marked Smile Train's 2 millionth, and incredibly, Aleem's was the 2 million and first. Now, their smiles are a symbol of hope for children with clefts all over the world. 540 babies are born with a cleft each day, but through Smile Train, millions of lives have been changed. To learn more and support the global cleft community, visit smiletrain.org/learn. Smile Train, changing the world one smile at a time.
We asked parents who adopted teens to share their journey.
There are many times I thought, I can't do this. I mean, what parent isn't worried about? What am I not doing right? What am I not doing enough? And then I realized, wait, that's being a parent.
Don't worry about being perfect. I've had around 3 other mother figures in my life, but only one of them has taught me how a mother loves.
The greatest reward for me is he makes me better every day.
I would tell a family considering adopting a teenager that teenager, whoever it is, needs you, and they need what you have to offer.
Taylor's given me hope. He's our son, and that is what he will always be.
Learn about adopting a teen from foster care. You can't imagine the reward. Visit adoptuskids.org to learn more. A message brought to you by Adopt US Kids, the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, and the Ad Council.
When you're high, you feel different. Pretty obvious, right? You think different, talk different, but if you feel different, you drive different. So if you're high, just don't drive. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
I feel so stuck.
The Veterans Crisis Line is here for you. Dial 988, then press 1 to call.
Truck crash? Call Gruber offices. One call, that's all.
This is Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. I'm your host, Dr. Ken Harris. 833-212-1017 is the number. I don't know how to say the name. Kapha? K-A-P-H-A? Kafa? On the talking text line. How do you?
I think Kapha, because they put the emphasis on the P.
Okay. Black business has become an integral part of the economy that cannot be burnt down. Stop being predominantly consumers. Oh, come on now, say it. And become a greater percentage of the producers that have relied upon to maintain the overall economy. Yep, absolutely right. Absolutely right. If we could build the quality that other people have, and if we could create what other people sell us, we'd have more money. But we don't do that. We'd rather buy from Louis Vuitton than from OGDK. Know what I'm saying? We do that because we think, well, that's better because that's quality. It's really not quality. Somebody in a factory in China made that. Or somewhere in the Sudan or somewhere in Pakistan and put it together, sold it by hand, and then they sold it to you for like $3,000 for something that cost them like $80 to make. So can the black community do it? Absolutely we can. We just don't want to because we've been taught. When I was growing up, this is what black people were taught in general. Don't go to school for free. Don't go to school and pay for it. Let somebody else pay for it. Otherwise, you just sit around and wait for somebody else to pay for it. I don't know what that means because if you don't get a scholarship, you're not going to school. And if you don't bring anything to the table, nobody's going to pay. So what are you supposed to get free money? Like, what is that? But the problem with it is that when people give you scholarships, they control you. So they get to say what you taught, that you get to, whatever you teach, whatever you taught, they control that. Oh, you want to do your research? Then we control what you're going to do. Because we pay you. You're that person's intern, you're that person's assistant, and you do what we tell you to do, and your research should be this. So you lose control when you do that. That's why we got so many kids majoring in so many things that don't matter, because they give you a scholarship to make sure they can control what you major in. Because my daughter struggled. Oh, she didn't get no scholarship. She was majoring in computer engineering. They wasn't trying to hear that. That's electrical engineering with computers, hardware with software. They wasn't trying to fill that. Black girl, oh no, can't do that. Nope. $1,500, there's your scholarship. But other people were getting crazy money with less ACT scores than her. So we know that's a lie. The bottom line, you got to build your own, you got to create your own, and sell to your own.
The Truth app is home for all the Milwaukee Panther content you would want.
He'll dart baseline, and he will tomahawk it home with his right hand.
From conversations on the airwaves.
We're going to defend every board up the floor and every bounce and every pass. And we've got good depth, and you have to have good depth for the way we play.
To game highlights.
And at the top, rises for three over Young and buries it.
Find the roar on the Truth app, Apple, Spotify, and wherever else you get your podcasts to keep up with Panthers hoops.
It started with a prediction.
We'll go out there and play basketball and win.
And how many games?
6.
It became the culture.
Chance of Bucks in 6.
Being a Bucks fan means you live and breathe Bucks in 6. Brandon Jennings created the prophecy. Tune into Behind the Bucks, the story of Brandon Jennings on the Bucks Plus audio network. Behind the Bucks is presented by Gallagher, your trusted insurance broker and HR and benefits consultant. Available now on bucks.com/plus, the Bucks app, and streaming wherever you get your podcasts.
That's for the culture.
You said you'd never buy your kid candy from the checkout aisle. Or forget extra diapers. And never give in to a meltdown. You'd never lick your thumb to clean their face. Never let them have too much screen time. And never bribe them for just one more bite. You say you'd never let them out in public without their hair brushed. Never, ever become a minivan mom. And you'd never give them your phone for a quiet dinner.
Calling boss work phone.
So when you say you'd never leave your child in a hot car, no, it can happen. Cars get hot fast, and kids can be at risk in temperatures as low as 60 degrees Fahrenheit. Never happens. Before you leave the car, always stop, look, lock. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Dear employer,
my name is Phil Martin.
My name is Michael Raskovich.
Ronaldo Bird.
Zach Deiser. I am writing to express my excitement at the opportunity to join your team.
As someone on the spectrum, I possess a unique set of skills
that sets me apart from other candidates.
My detail-oriented nature allows me to communicate complex ideas,
to break down data, to have no fear in meeting new people.
I may communicate in ways that are different from what you are used to.
Structure, routine,
and clear expectation.
Help me do my best work.
My autism allows me to have a perspective that needs to be seen and heard.
It allows me to make the world safer and improve systems in ways others can't.
It allows me to bring people's inner worlds to life with my artwork.
My autism
will bring your team important insights.
Thank you for your consideration.
An autistic inclusive workplace is good for business. It's time to make a change. Learn more at autismspeaks.org/win.
Breaking news, weather, entertainment, and sports. We have it all here. This is 101.7 FM, 1510 AM WGKB Waukesha and W269DL Milwaukee, a locally owned Good Karma brand station. Bringing you his authentic perspectives on important topics.
They live in suburbs together. They live in the city together. They hang out together, all in the same family. We're the only idiots that fight because we want our voice to only be on one side. Like, does that even make any sense? And when the side loses, you lose everything. They, on the other hand, have a voice no matter what because somebody that looks like them is always in control.
Frank, candid, and straight to the point.
Well, it's just a skewed system.
Of course it is.
It's a lot of adjustment.
But answer my question, though. Should we let people go? Should we let people go? Like, let's just forget about bail altogether. And if your neighbor commits a homicide and kills people up, if you kill people and they next to you and you just let them come back and live right next to you, they can live upstairs from you. Let them come in your house.
Frank, candid, and straight to the point. This is the best radio show in the state of Wisconsin. Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris on 101.7 The Truth and The Truth app.
Now, he's the mayor of the city of Milwaukee. He's a young man. Give him a chance. I only complain about things that I care about. What I want you to do is pretend like I'm in St. Louis. And all I'm asking the mayor and the Common Council president and the Common Council, show me.
Now, live from the American Family Insurance Studio at the Avenue in the heart of downtown Milwaukee, here is Dr. Ken Harris.
You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. I'm your host, Dr. Ken Harris. 833-212-1017 is the number. I haven't been able to get anything done today. I have not been able to get anything. It's my first day back. I'm literally got back into the state of Wisconsin last night. And I mean late last night. So by the time I went to bed, it was literally Monday morning. And so I was just whooped. I was tired. And so I've been trying to look at some of the things that are coming up, and look at some of the issues that are happening in the city. Because I've been out of pocket for since last Monday. I was like, I'm out, deuces, gone, and so I'm here. And I'm kind of looking back and I'm looking at some stuff that's been happening. And I'm like, wait, what? Like, huh? Like people said what? People did what? And I'm not really, yeah. I think I'm going to be more outspoken in 2025 than I was in 2024. Shocking. Wayne, of course, you're completely wrong on academic scholarships. You have programs like Upward Bound, the PhD project. Is the PhD project still in effect? Management, Leadership for Tomorrow, and many other programs that look to put blacks in higher education. So, it ain't working. Where are they? Where are they? They're all at public schools or HBCUs. Where are the private schools? Where are black folks? I'm just asking. We talk about it, and Wayne, you tend to find fault with everything I say, which is, I guess, okay, but still. You missed my point when I said it. When you get a scholarship, to a point, they control what you learn. So if your scholarship is only for certain things, that's the problem. If you can only give me a scholarship in education, but you can't give me a scholarship in engineering, that's a problem. When you put so many things in place, you do understand one of the reasons why we have the LSAT is because they didn't want black people going to law school becoming lawyers. So they put a test and moved it to the graduate level. There is absolutely no reason why a law degree has to be a Juris Doctorate on a grad level. You can learn out an undergrad in 4 years, graduate and be done, and be a lawyer. If I can do it as an engineer, if I can build an airplane. So, no, we're not going to do that because Boeing will only hire you if you're a PhD and you got over a 3.5 grade point average. Okay. And you got to score this on exams. Those are just barriers that people put in, which, granted, I understand because you're building airplanes. You know, Boeing hasn't had the greatest track record lately. But I get it in some instances. Medical school, I get it. But is there anything in medical school that you can't learn in an undergraduate degree? No. There is absolutely nothing you can't learn in medical school that you can't take an undergraduate degree. Is it longer? Sure. It might be a 5 or 6 year degree? Sure. But there's nothing that won't stop you from just going through, learning the basics and going through and learning. Like, so we've created this business called higher education because it is a business and you have to run it efficiently. But it also gives the student a phenomenal process that they can step into, gain an education, get into a field of study, and go and live a good life. So I see both sides of it. As long as you have the control and you pay for it. Because I'm telling you, there are some things that people have trouble getting into, like nursing, engineering, some areas of computer science that women struggle in because it's male dominated. That black people struggle in because it's white dominated. Man, I don't care. And I find that a little, what's my favorite word? A little disingenuous.
Number 5.
This from JS Online, Milwaukee Area Technical College former Chief Deputy Equity and Inclusion Officer filed a federal lawsuit against the college this week alleging that top university officials retaliated against her for speaking out about discrimination in the workplace. In the complaint and in interviews with the Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel, Eva Martinez-Powless, Powless, who became the college's first ever Chief DEI officer in 2021, says she felt her efforts to improve the campus climate for employees of color were stifled by her direct manager, Philip King, the executive vice president of student success at MATC. Martinez-Powless alleges that once she began to raise certain concerns about mistreatment of staff members of color, King began excluding her from critical meetings, micromanaging her work, and treating her in an unprofessional and inappropriate manner. Martinez-Paulus says, I am one of many victims of what I believe to be a discriminatory culture that has been allowed to perpetuate at MATC, but I cannot stand by and allow it to continue without demanding accountability. That is why I filed this case. Something must change. Of course, in a written statement, MATC's spokesperson said the allegations made in her lawsuit are unfounded, and added that the college cannot comment on personnel matters, but alleges the legitimate findings of an independent investigator hired by the college to look into her complaints last year. The investigator did not find evidence to substantiate her claims. Well, that's a silly comment to make when you hired the person. You have a complaint against me, right? So I hired the person to look into the complaint. That by itself is like, nope. Additionally, the spokesperson noted that a survey taken by MATC employees this year found that 50% of employees thought campus culture had improved since 2022. Only 50%? Did an outside agency do the survey? That's the question. In the technical college, which is one of the state's most diverse higher education institutions, has tried for years to address concerns about the treatment of staff of color. In October, Martinez-Paulus was among 12 current and former MATC employees who told the Journal Sentinel that they had witnessed discrimination, harassment, and retaliation against employees of color, and hundreds of pages of records obtained by the news organization detailed allegations of cultural insensitivity, pay equity challenges, barriers to promotion, and verbal intimidation. According to her lawsuit, Martinez-Paulus repeatedly raised concerns to King, the Human Resources Department, and then president of MATC, about a black employee who had been denied disability accommodation. She said she had overheard disparaging comments about the employee and other black staff members. And in a statement, the spokesperson said work accommodations can be made when circumstances change or new information comes to light. He said, generally, it is not our practice that employees in student serving roles are 100% remote. But that doesn't matter because you still have to give accommodations because the federal government says in some cases you do. He added, we are looking forward to having the opportunity to respond through the legal process. Of course, they're saying that they failed to address an environment of toxicity and retaliation. So that's what's going on at MATC right now. Filed a discrimination and harassment complaint against King. 1 week later, King filed a complaint against Martinez for sexual orientation and age discrimination. Huh? Anyway, so yeah, that's what's going on. It is interesting to say the least, and we'll keep looking at it. In 2024 of this year, Martinez-Paulus filed a whistleblower complaint with MATC's legal department accusing King and Ellie Bonds-Jones, the chief's human resource officer, of harassing an Afro-Latina employee who filed a disability-related and work accommodation request. So anyway, 4 months later, Martinez-Paulus was fired. Her April 2024 termination letter cites insubordination. And that is why people that are diversity, equity, inclusion, anybody that deals with rights at that level should always be answerable to the president. They should never be answerable to some vice somebody who can control you and do what you do and say what you say, because those types of things need to be dealt with where the person that deals with it has the final say. And when you deal with the people that don't have the final say, like a vice president or a director or something, then you always got to go through these steps. Things can get lost, and then these types of things happen. So it's an unfortunate situation. We're going to be looking at it and see what's going on in the coming months.
Number 4.
A Milwaukee woman turned to her incarcerated boyfriend to help in arranging to kill a former lover. This is what prosecutors allege in court papers. This from JS Online. The alleged transaction was recorded on jailhouse audio. Why don't people know that? Like, is that Somebody help me with that.
I always wonder, like, y'all don't know by now that everything you say has been recorded?
I'm going to try to get a guy in. He wrote a book about privacy, about what you do on your phone, in your house. And do people get that there's some apps you have on your phone? Like, there's a lot of apps on my phone. I just took them off. Like, if I want to look up that website, I go to a web page that blocks all the ads and all that stuff, and you can't tell where I'm going. It just doesn't make any sense. The transaction was recorded on jailhouse audio, according to a January 3rd complaint. Ashanti Davis, 25, is charged with solicitation. Get this. First-degree intentional homicide in the November 1st shooting death of a 32-year-old man who was identified in the complaint as Davis' on-again, off-again boyfriend and baby daddy. Davis was booked into Milwaukee County Jail New Year's Eve. Happy New Year. Jail records show, and her cash bond was set this past Saturday at $100,000. So what do prosecutors say happened? Well, Milwaukee police were called to 87th and Carmen for a shooting around 1:20 a.m. on November 1st. They arrived. Officers found the victim, pronounced dead at the scene, 3 bullet casings found nearby. Medical examiner ruled it a homicide. Davis was interviewed at the scene. She told investigators she and the victim had just gotten out of a car when 2 masked men ordered them to lay down and empty their pockets. Davis told police she heard 1 gunshot and then the men fled. According to the complaint, Davis gave a detective her phone number, and the number revealed phone calls that led him to believe Davis had arranged to have the victim killed during a fake robbery. The complaint said Davis received multiple phone calls from an inmate at a correctional institution, and detectives determined Davis and the inmate were in an ongoing romantic relationship. Calls from the jail are recorded and can be admissible in court or can be used in a criminal investigation. On October 28th, and a call to Davis from an inmate. Davis allegedly tells the inmate, identified only as KD, that she needs to tell him something in person. KD pressed her to tell him what's it about. And Davis allegedly said, baby daddy, boom, pop, boom. In a call from the inmate to Davis on the next day, Davis allegedly told the inmate that she got a cat to kill the rat, and also explained she needed to speak in riddles because she was aware the call was monitored. But clearly she left riddles where everybody could understand it. Inmate called Davis's number November 1st, about 12 hours after the killing, and said she and the victim were robbed, and people think Davis has something to do with it, the complaint says. She said she felt bad, and the man told her that's what you wanted. Numerous other calls between Davis and the inmate show that they carried on a romantic relationship for 6 months. And of course, they interviewed Davis. She told him that she had been pregnant by the victim and denied setting up the robbery. Detectives played one of the jail recordings. She acknowledged her voice on the call, but she denied she was referring to a homicide. The baby whom Davis and the victim shared died at birth, October of 2023. If convicted, Davis could be sent to prison for 12 and a half years. So let me see, 12 and a half years and you 25. Okay. 37 years old. All right. Well, 37 and a half. I feel like that's going to matter. I tell you.
Number 3.
Milwaukee County Transit System, the managing director. Hey, if you're looking for a job, I hear Milwaukee County Transit System has a managing director position that's open. Denise Wanke has retired after a little more than a year in the agency's top spot. How you guys? I hope she worked there beforehand. Anyway, Journal Sentinel reported that Wanke had taken a leave of absence October, shortly after the county entered into one of its toughest budget seasons as the transit agency dealt with major financial struggles and approached the looming fiscal cliff in the coming years. So on October 5th post on Wanke's Facebook account, she shared a picture of a motorhome with the caption, "I'm going to rough it and go camping. Let the next journey begin." Wanke became president and managing director in May of 2023 following the sudden retirement of former MCTS managing director Daniel Bohm. In the months before his departure, an employee called for an investigation into employment discrimination and retaliation under Boehm's, that's B-O-E-H-M, Boehm's leadership, according to records provided to the Journal Sentinel. Agency tapped Vice President and Deputy Director Julie Esch, E-S-C-H, as interim director after Wanke retired January 1st. Each joined their MCTS in September 2023, has served in a number of leadership positions in the Milwaukee County and the state of Wisconsin Department of Transportation. So I wish I could find a job like that where I could join it for like less than a year and then just retire. I wish I could. I just retire. What are you doing right now? I don't know. I think I'm going to take a job. I'm going to work for like a year, and then I'm going to retire.
Number 2.
This from Journal Sentinel. Governor Evers is doing something that I never thought that I would hear him do. Democratic Governor Tony Evers announced this week that he'll try again to bring a citizen-led referendum process to Wisconsin, which would allow voters to enact policies directly without the state legislature's approval. Evers said he'll include the idea in his upcoming 2-year budget proposal set to be introduced in full in the coming weeks, but Republicans are likely to scrap the idea once they start rewriting the state spending plan, as they have with hundreds of Evers policy proposals during past budget cycles. Evers cited Republicans' frequent use of constitutional amendments in 2024, which allowed them to place ideas before voters that Evers had previously rejected, and Republicans could put 4 more of those questions on the ballot in upcoming elections. Evers told reporters on last Friday, Republican leadership have repeatedly worked to put constitutional amendments on the ballot that Republicans drafted and Republicans passed, all while Republicans refused to give that same power to the people of Wisconsin, and that's wrong. I agree with Governor Evers. I think that it's important to understand that citizen-led referendums, because of what citizens want, should have an impact on what legislators do. So if the citizens tell you this is what they want, then that's what they want. And so we should have a role in getting a statewide referendum on the ballot. We should vote to put it on the ballot, and we should vote when it is on the ballot, and it should stand. I think that they're wrong in thinking that they can tell citizens what to do. We elected them, but they don't always represent us. And so I think it's important that we go in and we tell Robin Vos that while that's cute, if it were in reverse, you would be voting to do the same thing. You would be trying to do the same thing if you had a Democratic-led legislature and a Republican governor. You would be trying to get the citizens to have the vote, which is something you always talk about. That power lies with the citizen. That power lies with the individual. Well, give it to them. Put your money where your mouth is. Put your mouth where your character and ego are. And give it to them. Acquiesce and give the public the ability to put something on the table. Marijuana, taxes, all those things. If we want to vote on something and we believe that it's most important that all of the citizens do it, then we need to vote on it. I think we should be able to vote on whether or not energy companies get increases just for the sake of increases every single year. That at some point you need to work within your means, like we got to work within our means. Can't keep going up on electric and gas. It doesn't make any sense. But yet we constantly do, and we got this committee that decides, well, we think they should get more money, so we're going to give more money. Why? Why do we constantly do things like that? Recently, citizens in other states have voted on referendums about, just like I said, marijuana legalization, abortion access, paid sick leave, things of that nature. If it gets too out of whack, the legislature can always come in, pass a vote, and if the governor doesn't sign it, revote and be done. And if you win, you win, you lose, you lose. But use the democratic process the way that it's supposed to be used. Because I think y'all be like, I don't know. Y'all talk a good game, but when it comes time to actually doing it, you're just doing it for politics. And for Republicans in the state of Wisconsin, that's terrible.
Number 1.
Well, I never thought I'd have my number one story be a sports story. This from FoxNews.com. ESPN star Stephen A. Smith reacted to the New England Patriots' decision to fire Jared Mayo after one whole season at the helm. Are you shocked? Are you shocked? Smith lamented on First Take that Mayo didn't get enough of an opportunity to develop as a head coach and lead the team. He said the availability of Mike Vrabel on the coaching market also played a factor. This is about Mark Vrabel, who they wanted, no question about it. He's the more seasoned and experienced coach. I don't like this. And then he made this statement. They call it Black Monday for a reason. This certainly typifies it. I don't know why it's not called White Monday. Doug Peterson got fired from Jacksonville. He deserved that firing. Jared Mayo clearly was not given a lengthy opportunity, kind of how they did a certain black coach in Green Bay. But anyway, what Bill Belichick left him from a talent perspective cleared out the team. Everybody left. Everybody transferred. Everybody got traded. And considering the record, considering the way the team performed, Smith added that he believed that the Patriots' top brass turned on Mayo over the course of the season. He didn't help himself with some of the comments he made calling the team soft. But no matter what we can point to, at the end of the day, the folks in New England were turning against Jared Mayo. We all know this. And so he's gone. He was 4-13. Now, here's my question. Should he have been fired? First season, 4-13.
No.
He should not have been fired. I don't care who you are, black, white, Hispanic, Asian, male, female. But we have this unrealistic look at black coaches that when they come in, they have to be perfect or they get rid of them. What was the black coach that they fired from the Packers? Ray Rhodes? Was it Ray Rhodes? Who was it? I think it was Ray Rhodes. One season, bam. Next season, the guy that came in for him won one game more than he did, and they kept him. It was garbage. It was garbage. But that's what white team owners do. It hasn't changed. It's unfortunate. And so my question, when I say things like that and people get upset and they get mad, oh, you said that. Why you say that? Well, prove me wrong. Like literally say, wow, here's the information. This is this is that. And then I'll go, you're absolutely right. I apologize. I was wrong. But if you can't do that, I guess I got to stick with it. Interesting.
One call, that's all.
Hey, Truth Nation, it's your chance to be our One Call, That's All 5K giveaway entry for the day. Yes, you can be entered in to win $5,000, courtesy of Gruber Law Offices. Be caller number 7 at 833-212-1017. Caller number 7, you'll be entered in to win the $5,000 giveaway with the award-winning 1017 The Truth and Gruber Law Offices. Again, that's caller number 7. Did I say again or again? I don't know.
You said again.
I said again. Well, that's kind of cool.
I think you should start using that. Instead of again, say again.
Caller number 7, 833-212-1017 is the number. Remember, if your loved one has ever been injured in an accident, contact Gruber Law Offices today. Visit them at gruber-law.com. That's gruber-law.com. For official contest rules, visit 1017thetruth.com.
Don't touch that dial. More of Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harrison is next on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
This is 1017 The Truth Snony Juice, and the time is now, Milwaukee. For years, this city has been creating an undeniable buzz, and it's finally getting the national attention and recognition it truly deserves. Milwaukee is on the rise, and Jammin' with Juice is proud to be part of this historic run, showcasing the talent and energy driving this new era. This is Milwaukee's moment, and we're here to shine the spotlight on it. So lock in with Jammin' with Juice every day from noon to 1 on the award-winning 1017 The Truth. Protect your dream home with American Family Insurance, and you can weather any storm. You'll also save up to 25% by bundling home, auto, and life. American Family Insurance. Get a quote or find an agent at amfam.com. Products are not available in every state. Discounts may not apply to all coverages on an auto or home policy. Discounts do not apply to life insurance policies. Visit amfam.com to learn how discounts may apply to you. American Family Mutual Insurance Company assigned its operating companies American Family Life Insurance Company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Prostate cancer screening is a simple blood test. It's a simple blood test. Get it done. Your family history of prostate cancer increases the risk for all the men in your family. It's a simple blood test. Get it done. Prostate cancer is most treatable when it's detected early. It's a simple blood test. Get it done. Men, it's your life. That's why it's so important to talk to your doctor about getting tested. If you want info on how to take action, the Prostate Cancer Foundation is here to help. For more than 30 years, PCF, a leader in scientific breakthroughs, has funded cutting-edge research that speeds new treatments into clinics, helping patients live longer with fewer complications. Go to pcf.org to learn more about prostate cancer and how you can advocate for yourself. Remember, it's your life, and it's a simple blood test. Get it done.
My part-time service in the Army National Guard makes it possible for me to be more for the community I call home. My training helps me at work when I lead by example. My service in the Army National Guard allows me to keep my community and those I care about safe from threats. Learn more about how you too can live and serve part-time close to home by visiting nationalguard.com.
Sponsored by the Wisconsin Army National Guard, aired by the Wisconsin Broadcasters Association and this station.
Here at the new 1017 The Truth, we count on the support of community partners. One of those local partners is Associated Bank. Together, we are committed to uplifting local organizations and supporting Black-owned businesses. We are proud to call Milwaukee home and promise to be a positive reflection on the community. We look forward to celebrating Black culture and excellence with you every day as we make history and continue to uplift the voices in our city. Join us for the journey at the new 1017 The Truth, founded in partnership with Associated Bank, member FDIC.
This is Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. I'm your host, Dr. Ken Harris. Happy New Year! January 6, 2025. Let me see. What's on the talking text line? NPS ain't what it used to be, my guy. Exactly. He tripping, bro. He think we in the early 2000s. I hate when cats just lie and try to prove a point. It's disingenuous. Denying the truth is just as bad as hiding from it. Prentice said, you can't discipline kids like how you used to be. The grading system is totally different. Kids don't have to do anything, and I literally mean anything, and they'll still pass. That is true. That is true. That is very true. And that's unfortunate for the parents, because the parents are the ones that got to pick up the pieces and deal with all this stuff, because the parents are the ones whose children are not learning, and they don't do anything about it. And it don't sound like they care. So I'm just saying. 833-212-1017 is the number. We just had the one call, that's all 5K giveaway entry for today. I want to say congratulations to Carolyn. She is the January 6, 2025 5K giveaway entry for the day. She was caller number 7. So I just want to say congratulations. You made it. I probably shouldn't say this. I know I'm going to get in trouble again. I already got in trouble with the white people statement, so I may as well keep going. So I got a question. Does intellect matter in a relationship? Like, really? Like, does it really matter in a relationship? And I mean friends, dating, spouse. I'm not talking about unequally yoked. I'm not talking about the Christian thing about being a Christian versus a Muslim or Christian versus a non-believer or a this or a that. I'm not talking about that. I'm just talking about straight up, do you have the mental capacity to kind of be on the same level? I mean, like a critical thinker, like things that you say that you want in a person, but then things that irritate the crap out of you in another person. Should intellect matter in a relationship? 833-212-1017. I'm a firm believer that I don't even know how to say this. I'm already in the doghouse now anyway. Somebody in a marriage has to have a college degree. Now, I just believe that. People get mad. People get upset. You don't need a college degree to work. Nobody's talking about you. No need to get defensive because nobody's talking about you. But I think somebody in the family needs to there needs to be places in life and things you can access by virtue of what you do. I think somebody in your family should have a trade, should be able to have a basic trade that they can take. So if everything goes bad, they can at least barter that trade or barter that thing they do in order to make it, right? But intellect matters to me in a relationship. Friends you hang out with, do you constantly hang out in a group where everybody keeps asking you, well, what should we do? Where should we go? How should we this, right? That's different because they then do different things and then you all can share between each other. That's one thing. But if you're in a group that you don't have anything in common with that person, or you have a friend, or you're dating somebody and you just find out that they just don't have it, is that mean? Is that being arrogant? Is that being uppity? Is that being a classist? Like, I don't know. But at some point, I think there needs to be a mesh there. I think, and I'm going to sound as elitist as I possibly can, I think there needs to be a minimum education level of a person when they're dating, or don't bother. Like, literally, like, what we doing? And I'm not saying have a doctorate, I'm not saying have a master's, and I'm not saying have a college degree, not even a 2-year degree. I'm talking about a level of intellect that's just baseline. Like, there are some things that you should not be doing, and there are some things you should not be saying. Otherwise, I don't know. 833-212-1017. What are your thoughts on that? Because I don't really look at certain things being acceptable. Like, there's some basic things you need to know about money, about investing, about saving, about owning things. Where do you spend your time? Do you read? Like, do you do work in the community? Like, those types of things that'll give me an idea of your level of intellect. Or you don't care. She fine though, so that's all that counts. Like, I don't really get that. I don't really get that.
It'd be hard sometimes, Dr. Ken. They should be looking so good.
Everybody fails. Body fails. Face fails. This is life. And she ain't gonna be hot all the time. And neither's he. And so I always find that if the reason why you're drawn to a person is because they are physically appealing to you, that's probably a good sign that that's probably not the one. But I just find it weird because I'm an intellectual. Like, I admit that going in. I don't lie about it. I don't pretend, to the point where people on the talking text like, you think you are that? You know, I'm like, okay. People just go in all the time. I get it. I'm not bothered by it, but I get it. But at some point, there has to be some level of intellect in your friends and who you date, who you live with. as a spouse, there has to be a level of intellect that's there. Otherwise, I don't really like, yeah. Or does it? Maybe you just like him dumb. He's like a big rock. I can just roll him any way I want him, right? He just do whatever I tell him to do. Do you really want a man like that? Or do you want a woman like that? She just do whatever I tell her to do. This is weird. I've never understood that. In my entire life, I've never understood that. 833-212-1017 is the number. When we come back, I got another bone to pick about animals. And I've been thinking about this. I talked about it before, but I got a problem with animals. Like I think I'll talk about it when I come back. Traffic, sports, and weather up next.
Don't touch that dial. More of Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harrison is next on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com. It's time for Truth Takes, a thought-provoking commentary on the new 1017 The Truth. Here is Telly Hughes with his truth.
I want to stress the importance of a positive mindset. Everything begins as a thought before it ever becomes an action. So it's extremely important to purposely place yourself in positive spaces to help shape and nurture those thoughts. I know you're probably thinking, okay, Telly, let's be realistic. Look, I get it. You may work with people with bad energy, or you may even be related to people who are negative by nature. In this journey called life, there will be many things that come your way that's out of your control. But what you can control is how you respond. Understand this. You have the right to either tap in or tap out of whatever energy that may come your way. And that's how you can control and protect your positive spaces. The mind is where it all starts. And if your thoughts are centered around positivity, you'll see how things begin to transform. You will see a noticeable difference between things happening for you versus things always happening to you. You begin to grow through situations as opposed to just going through tough situations. Make it a priority to surround yourself with positive people and create those positive spaces and begin to experience the fruits of what a positive mindset can produce. Trust me, it takes work to creating these spaces, and you have to be intentional about it. And I'm committed to putting in the work because I'm living proof that it's well worth the peace a positive mindset brings.
This has been Truth Takes on the new 1017 The Truth. Listen to Truth Be Told with Telly weekdays from 7 a.m. to 9 a.m.
Don't you wish your life came with a warning app?
Stop. That dog does not want to be petted.
Just a little heads up before something bad happens.
Move your coffee cup away from your computer.
Oh, no.
So you can have more control.
Stop. You're texting your boss by mistake.
Uh-oh. Well, life doesn't always give you time to change the outcome, but prediabetes does. With early diagnosis and a few healthy changes like managing your weight, getting active, stopping smoking, and eating healthier, you can stop prediabetes before it leads to type 2 diabetes. It's easy to learn your risk. Take the 1-minute test today at doihaveprediabetes.org.
Warning, the cap is loose on that ketchup.
Ugh. Don't wait. You have the power to change the outcome. Visit doihaveprediabetes.org today. That's doihaveprediabetes.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and its prediabetes awareness partners.
Northbound on 94, just before the Mitchell interchange, we got the center lane blocked with a crash. So watch out for those delays. We've also got some backups on eastbound 94. That's just pretty much standard delays from about 84th Street all the way through to 35th. The westbound side's backed up from 25th Street out to about Hawley Road. We've still got the problem in Ozaukee County with the left lane blocked because of pavement damage right about at Donges Bay Road. So we've got backups stretching all the way back to the Cedarburg Pittsburgh exit. And then we've got northbound 43 backing up around the North Avenue curve up past Locust. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast tonight, partly cloudy skies, a low of 17. Tomorrow, partly sunny, a high of 26. For the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 101.7 The Truth.
This is Associated Bank Sports Update on 101.7 The Truth. It's powered by ESPN Milwaukee. I'm Brandon Snyder. For the first time in 6 years, Chicago Bears found a way to beat the Packers on Sunday in the team's regular season finale.
The kick on the way by Santos, and it is good! The Bears' losing streak comes to an end on the final play of the regular season.
Packers falling 24-22 to Chicago. They finished the regular season at 11-6 and will next travel out to Philly to take on the Eagles next Sunday in the NFC Wild Card round.
You know, everything that we want is still out in front of us. You know, the Super Bowl is still out in front of us. We got to go win games and win in advance, but we kind of can control our destiny. We just got to be great.
Kickoff for that game set for 3:30 on Sunday. And lastly, over to the NBA, where the 17 and 16 Milwaukee Bucks are back in action tonight in Toronto. Tip-off all set for 6:30. The Sports Update brought to you by Associated Bank, proudly supporting your hometown teams. Member FDIC.
This is Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris on 101.7 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Y'all can see him. He has lost his mind. I just love me some Michael Jackson.
It's like, do you hear this? Like, this is music perfection.
It's not perfection.
It's perfection.
It's not perfection. Okay, you can get rid of it. 833-212.
Perfection, Dr.
212-1017 is the number. It's not. It's not. It's just music. It's just music, dude. It's just music. So, do you like dogs? Like, do you like dogs? I know you love dogs. Anybody talking to you? So seriously, and we talked about this earlier. When did it become acceptable for dogs to go everywhere? Bringing your dog into Starbucks, bringing your dog into the store, it's not a service dog. Where did we even invent service dogs from anyway? Do we have a soft group of people in the world where they need a dog to comfort? It's a comfort dog. It's a pet dog. Okay, I get that. But not in the store where I eat. What are you doing? People crying and holding vigils for dogs. Oh, my dog died. I get it. As a family member, I get it. But don't expect me to get it. Don't look at me like I'm crazy because I don't agree with you about your dog or your cat. Like, what is that? Well, you know, we love the. I think dogs are wonderful. They've given elderly people and children the greatest love they would ever feel. The problem is it's a dog or a cat. That means they're replaceable. That means you can get a new one and it'll be fine. But this treating dogs like they're people, get your dog out of Starbucks now. Get your dog out. You love your dog. You're not going to make us love your dog. Get your nasty, stanky, unkept, horrible dog out of here. Because you believe you can just walk in and do what you want to do because everybody should love a dog. No, I shouldn't. I don't like dogs. I don't like birds either. I don't let birds in my house. Hey, come on, a bird. I have a bird. No. Have you ever had a parakeet that lived? Ever? Have you ever not like 6 months? Maybe. I'm talking about a month. That parakeet is dead. So yeah, I'm just saying. Maybe it's just me. And when did pets take the place of children? What is that? I don't get that. In that same vein, what do we need to What needs to disappear from the federal government? Y'all know Doge is coming in and they're going to be making some suggestions. So what should we get rid of in the federal government? What should get rid of in Wisconsin? Maybe we can get rid of some people. Can Doge get rid of people? But I'm just saying, like what needs to be cut from the federal government? I wonder. But then again, I got an idea. Guess what we could cut? You ready? Dogs.
Don't touch that dial. More of Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris is next on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com. On Wednesday night, the Milwaukee Panthers close out their road trip in Indiana as they take on Horizon League opponent, the Purdue Fort Wayne Mastodons.
Now Fultz, split two defenders in the lane again, flips to score, finding an opportunity for a high percentage basket by squeezing his way.
Scott Warris has the coverage Wednesday starting at 5:30 p.m. on 1017 The Truth and the Milwaukee Panthers Sports Network from Learfield. Tip-off happens at 6 o'clock.
It's 1017 The Truth's Dr. Ken Harris for Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Happy New Year means a lot of rough days ahead for those who suffer from seasonal affective disorder. Plenty of gray, frigid days on the horizon where we all just want to be snugly and warm at home. That's where Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin comes in. Their inviting doors welcome friends and family into a cozy home thanks to Pella's gorgeous, energy-efficient windows, keeping the cold out. Pella can make your home as beautiful on the outside as it is comfortable on the inside. Celebrate the new year with 0% interest for up to 3 years at Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Visit Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin showroom today so you can learn the Pella difference and get inspired on making your home more energy efficient and beautiful with Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Hurry, you only have until January 31st to score Pella's New Year's special. 0% interest for up to 3 years. Certain restrictions apply. Visit PellaWI.com.
Sharon needed legal help. She needed Gruber Law Offices.
When I think about Gruber Law Office, I think about how they took care of me, how they make sure that you get what you're supposed to get. Gruber Law Office. One call, that's all. I will always trust one call, that's all.
Injured? Call Gruber Law Offices today. One call, that's all.
They are the best. I'm very happy.
More than 6 million kids in the U.S. have ADHD, and many aren't getting the support they need. At understood.org, we can help. Sometimes in class, the only thing your child can focus on are the thoughts racing through their head.
Why am I always falling behind? Why do I feel so alone? So different.
Your child is looking to you for answers. But as a parent, you probably have a lot of questions too. What should I do next? Where do I even start? At understood.org, we provide parents with the resources they need to help kids with ADHD thrive. Your child wants to thrive. Be the reason they do. Visit understood.org/thereason to get started.
This is Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Another day is gone.
You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. I'm your host, Dr. Ken Harris. 833-212-1017 is the number. Music Monday with Michael Jackson kicking off 2025 every Monday. Music Monday. So I had to get Jason his fix so he could just move on and like smile for the rest of the year. 833-212-1017 is the number. So I wanted to, I got a couple of quick stories I got to tell you because I'm running out of time and all that. So some business owners forgot that ladies' night promotions violate public accommodation laws in states that prohibit businesses from gender-based discrimination. So over 20 states, one territory and department, and D.C., District of Columbia, have public accommodation laws that explicitly, now get this, prohibit discrimination by business establishments based on sexual orientation and gender identity, according to the Movement Advancement Project. Rebecca Nyman, a business law and ethics professor at the University of San Diego, told CNN. A lot of these small mom and pop bars, honestly, might not know about the law, which is why you see these lawsuits still happening. Well, what happened? For Chef John Marquez, owner of Lima Restaurant in Concord, California, a ladies' night promotion. How many times you been somewhere where it was ladies' night? Well, that promotion offered discounts to female customers, forced his family-run establishment to close its doors permanently after he settled a discrimination lawsuit. Fresno, California minor league baseball team, Fresno Grizzlies, was slammed with our lawsuit earlier this year after hosting a ladies' night promotion that granted women free admission. The lawsuit alleges the team was blatant, alleged the team's promotion was blatant gender discrimination and violated the UNRRA Civil Rights Act, the Fresno Bee reported. And San Diego lawyer Alfred Riva, who represented the plaintiffs, said he won several lawsuits that were similar, including a 2009 lawsuit where they got, you ready? $500,000 settlement with the Oakland A's, who hosted a Mother's Day promotion. I think I'm gonna start checking some of these laws. See if I can just, maybe it's age discrimination, but then I'd have to sue Jason. I'm just kidding. You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. I'm your host, Dr. Ken Harris. Tori Lowe Show's coming up next. It's been a great day back. I'll see you on tomorrow. Hey, Jason, appreciate you, brother, as always. God bless. Take care. Hey, y'all. I'm out.